episode of Trail Tire TV. In this episode, we will have some tricks and tips for those of you who are interested in the world of mountain biking. But first off, let's have an interview with John Benson and Joe Murray of Voodoo Cycles, people behind this very beautiful bike right here. So here we are on Trail Tire TV with Joe Murray and John Benson of Voodoo Cycles.
Morning.
How are you guys?
Howdy. Doing good.
So how long has Voodoo Cycles been in existence? Let's start there.
1994.
So it's been around a while.
Yeah, actually the fall of 93. Say.
And who's actually I'm assuming you're one of the original creators of Voodoo Cycles?
Well, they're kind of related to Marin mountain bikes and how it got started. The owner is a Japanese guy, or was. His son inherited the company. His name was Mizutani. Can't remember his first name. He was the distributor of Marin mountain bikes in North America. And he wanted his own company, and he heard I was looking for a job, so he said, get Joe Murray, let's start a bike company. And that's pretty much how it started. And then we hired a guy named, his name is Kevin Kilgore, and he has some experience in the bike industry, but he was driving down the road one day, and it was when that Voodoo Lounge Rolling Stones album just came out. He was like, Voodoo, that's a good name for a bike company.
So you're basically the main designer of the bikes, correct?
Yeah, I've been with the company the whole time. I was gone for a couple of years. I went to work for Shimano full time. Then I came back, and I was gone from, I think it was 96 to 98, and I came back again, and we had a U.S. office in San Jose, California, and sales were really good, but unfortunately the owner wasn't the best business person. He has lots of other businesses, and I think he made a bad mistake in one of his other businesses and couldn't afford to keep the Voodoo office in San Jose going anymore, so we got shut down in 2000. But then it came back in 2003. As far as the U.S. is concerned, needed me to come back and design some bikes. And that's when John came in. I hired John, and we've both been doing product development, sales. Well, not any sales, but mostly product development and some marketing.
So John, you're a big rider, racer, crazy kid that got involved, correct?
Yeah. Well, when I saw the first mountain bike in my town, I was probably, I don't know, 11 or 12 years old, something. And from then I've just been kind of crazy about riding bikes and having mountain bikes, and I didn't start racing until 1995, and I did that for about 10 years. Until that point, I just rode every day, everywhere, and read every magazine, and was just excited about everything to do with mountain bikes. And after I moved to Flagstaff, I met Joe. Yeah, I had the opportunity. So this is my first industry job, and actually being part of creating something that's been my passion for my whole life, pretty much.
So what other good information do you guys have? You got any new bikes coming out? You were showing me a frame before. Do you still have that frame with you?
Oh, I already built that up and started riding it. It's
bad.
the same as the Monster Crosser we had at Interbike. A lot of the photos are on the interwebs there. So there's the high rise stem on it, and big fat tires, and the dirt drop handlebars.
Yeah, it's a cross bike.
Yep, pretty much.
So
29er.
what's the plan for Voodoo Bike in the future?
Just keep moving along. I mean, another future bike is a new 26-inch full suspension bike. It's a floating pivot point design and 5-inch travel, 5.5 inches more specifically.
There's a photo of.
Yep.
And we're working on a 29er version of this bike. Hopefully,
So is that replacing the Kanzu, or is it gonna be in?
this is called a Zobot. It's a completely new bike, and we're gonna still have the Kanzo, I think.
Kanzo, is that how you say it?
Yeah,
Let's call it
that's been
Kanzu.
we've had that bike for a while, in various iterations. It's evolved. It's a 4-bar linkage bike. We'll probably introduce it later with the horse link, or the specialized patents running out. We've been selling this horse link version of the other 4-bar bike elsewhere in the world, because Specialized only has a patent in the US.
Smash.
That's kind of the new exciting stuff we're working on. We always have ideas kicking around that we need to decide whether or not we want to do anything with them or not. We'll get prototypes made and check them out, and go ride them, and then decide whether or not do a little market research, distributors, and see if something we could sell if people are interested in it or not. I mean,
So you guys are based out of Arizona, correct? No?
yes, Flagstaff.
Yep.
Flagstaff, Arizona.
Joe's still one of the fastest riders anywhere he goes.
Do you both still race at all? Do you go out and do any racing?
I haven't for about 5 years.
I like doing the fun stuff. There was kind of a race last weekend. It was more of a ride, but it was a fast ride.
This new bike that we have coming, the Zobop, is actually pretty exciting. I got to ride the first prototype for the spring down in Sedona this last spring, and it's a very good, very capable bike to ride in all conditions. The linkage definitely stiffens up the rear end and allows for good power transmission, doesn't bob too much, and going downhill, it's got very plush travel. Feels really good. It's going to be a great bike.
That sounds good.
I mean, Voodoo's more of we still do the traditional hardtail stuff, and we're developing that. I mean, that stuff's still changing. I mean, all our bikes now are designed for 5-inch travel forks, all our hardtails, except for the 29ers.
Anyway, I guess we'll end it there. It's
Okay.
nice talking to you guys. I'm sure I'll
Yeah, good talking to you.
hear from
Thanks.
you guys again. Talk more.
Thanks for bringing us on.
No problem. Thanks for
Anytime.
being on.
Good luck with the Trail Tire TV.
Yeah. Well, that was John Benson and Joe Murray of Voodoo Cycles. Thanks for being on again there, guys. Now let's move on to some tricks and tips for the mountain biking crew. Quick tip. It's about keeping your bike clean. If you're a what we call OCD, where you're obsessed with keeping your bike spotless, this is the best thing ever. Got this from a friend of mine out on Long Island, and I actually have 2 of them now. Now it looks like a regular everyday rag, but it's not. What it is a gun cleaning silicone sheet. This is the brand I use. Probably shouldn't be advertising for them, but whatever. And it is a Gun N Real silicone cloth. Basically I have 2 now. I have one older one that I quickly wipe the bike down with. And then I have a new one that after I'm done wiping it down, you hit it spiffy shiny. This will bring a luster to your bike like you've never seen before. Not only that, it protects the frame from future dirt. The only place you don't want to get it is on your brakes. Like any lubricant, silicone will lubricate. You don't want it on your brake disc. As you can see, it brings a nice luster up very easily.
And now, let's have a quick product review, or suggestion, or whatever you want to call it.
Welcome to Trail Tire TV's quick tips and product reviews. This is kind of both in one. If you look at this fork, this is the original fork since I bought this bike in 2005. It's now 2010. So this thing's a 5-year-old bike. 2006 I might have bought it. So it's 4 or 5 years old. I've never had to rebuild this fork. I've never resealed it. Never had a problem with it. And it's all, I believe, due to this right here. This is Finish Line Stanchion Lube. It's a great product. You basically get this little itty bitty bottle for, I don't know, I think it was $5 or $6. I've had this forever. You can only need one for your lifetime. Clean everything first. Make sure it's pretty clean. This is great to do if it's a brand new fork. You just put a couple of drops around. Let it drip. Make sure you get the whole surface. You don't need much. And it comes with a little felt cloth. Actually, a couple of them. You basically just rub it in. I do this a couple times a year, 3-4 times a year. We're doing it more and more lately, just because this fork's getting old. So help the seals keep sealing. It will help the dirt from getting inside the seals. I might actually, it's been a while, I'm actually going to do the seals. So I'm going to run it right around. Both of them. Make sure you get it in your back too, because that's usually where it leaks. It's the hardest to clean. Let it sit for a minute. And then buff it off. And that's it. Finish Line Stanchion Lube. This is a great product.